Hey everybody, welcome to this video for an arrangement of Silent Night for Bluegrass guitar. So I did a banjo arrangement, so I figured I may as well do a guitar arrangement. The way I'm working this is I'll do a very simple arrangement first and then a tougher arrangement with some more licks, make it a little more bluegrassy. And you can kind of see what I'm doing and how I'm thinking about bluegrassing this up. So in your own playing, you can mix and match these a little bit. You can try coming up with your own little licks. So it's more of a starting point than it is supposed to be like an arrangement for you to just learn and play. Anyways, the tab will be, we'll go line by line through the tab and you'll see all that. And I'll explain what I'm thinking when I'm doing it. But if you want the PDFs for this and the lead sheet, you'll have to subscribe to me on Patreon for that. Anyways, let me play through this and then we'll talk about it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Bluegrass version. All right, great. So let's really quickly talk about the form of this tune. I'll put the chords up. So we have Silent Night. It's in 3/4. So if you're gonna play the chords, you're gonna do this pick, strum, strum. It's a waltz, right? Silent night, holy night. Then you have a D. All is gone. G, then twice. C, dum, be da dum, ba da da dum. Then it repeats that version. C da dee da dum, G da da da, then D ba da do, G, then G, then D, then G. Okay, so those are the chords. They're relatively simple. A couple things I'll mention, and because it's a bluegrass tune, and I want to add a little bit of bluegrass into here, you're going to see a lot of sevens. So anytime we're going from a G to a C, I'll probably try to put in a G, G7, C. Also, when I'm making it more bluegrass, I'm going to start adding more C7s in there, right? Like ba 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 do do ba, or no, ba do ba da da be da, right? Like all those kind of sevens will feature into this. So you can always try to do that sort of thing when you're playing this. Okay, so let's take a look at the very basic arrangement. So I'll put the first line up here, and I just want you to notice that we're really just playing the melody and strumming when we get a chance. So I've only put the downstrokes in when we're strumming, and sometimes I seem to vacillate between this G and this G. So either one, or sorry, no, not the G7, I meant this G and then this G where it's just one finger, right? We have this and that one. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes it's easier to do one, sometimes it's easier to do different. So I tried to do a couple different variations because you want to be used to doing both Gs because they both have their good and bad points. Okay, so then mostly we're just pick strumming. So I only have the downstrokes written, but you'll notice when I played it, I played a lot of upstrokes. And that's just something you can add in whenever you feel comfortable. I often recommend to my students, like, first just get through getting the downstrokes and feeling comfortable, and then you can start adding upstrokes whenever you want. And I'll play examples of me doing that. Now, the first two bars are actually probably some of the hardest because we have this melody, ba da da dum, this upstroke melody that kind of causes a little bit of problems. So I'll play this here, and I just want you to notice that I get one of these notes with an upstroke. It's just that da dee da do. So that's a little bit tough, and I decided to do it with a double stop, meaning I hit more than one note just to make it a little more bluegrassy in that way. Okay, then that basically repeats. With this, I try to slide this in. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's a nice one to practice. Now this note here, this kind of minor third and sliding into the third, again, bluegrassy. So now we're going to the D chord, and I keep that third finger down, and I make this nice hammer on here, which helps. Then we go to this F sharp on the D. Now this is a bit of a tough one if you've never done this, but it happens a lot when you're doing these kind of pick strummy arrangements, is you need this F sharp. So the best way to do it is you put your pinky up here and get it. Then we have the G open. Now here I'm going to the pinky G, what's written, and then I go to the G7. Now notice I'm not hitting the, playing the low strings, and if you're not used to doing this kind of pick strummy thing, generally speaking is you try to hit the notes that are higher than the melody. Sometimes you could hit the whole chord, it could be, but often we're more looking for the sound of the chord and just the rhythm. So generally I hit kind of just the higher strings. It's often, as well, it's not so huge. So then that way, if you want a huge sound, you can really give the full chord or when you get to the end. Okay, next line. Here we have a C, we're just hammering on. And this hammer on actually makes it a lot easier because it gives us time to make the chord. But what I have to say here is you have to get that hammer on with the right finger so you can make the C. Now notice I'm not making the C with the third finger because I'm not playing that note, so I'm just playing the higher strings. Right, so 0, 4, 2, this is a big stretch for your pinky to come up. If you're comfortable with this stretch, you can always get upstrokes between all these. And it's just whatever notes of the chord. It could even be just one note. You could hit just the high note. Right, or the whole chord if you wanted. But generally it's just the top couple. Okay, G again. Now here, because I'm making this G with my pinky, instead of doing this as a slide, I can do it as a hammer on. Back to the C with the hammer on. That's a weird little G. Then we have D. Now here I'd probably recommend, I don't think I did this because I think I'll change this in the tab, but I'd probably do it with the hammer on, and we're making a D7. If you're not sure of a D7, I'll put the shape up here. It's like this. This is going to make this kind of easier. Now, our melody is, and then we get this F sharp. Now, the F sharp's really hard to get with your pinky here when you're making D7. So what I recommend is just doing a slide there with your middle finger. Now, like I said, you could get upstrokes here, but because with this slide, you have to get rid of the chord, you don't want to do an upstroke here. So if you're doing the upstroke thing, it's going to sound like this. So no upstroke. G. Now we do this slide with our middle finger, very important, because that way we can make the very top half of this G, right? It's kind of a bar chord G, or you can think of it as an F chord shape that's moved up 2 frets. This is a really handy one to do, and I often, when I want that B note, because if you do it here, it's on the 2nd string, it's nice to slide into this note and then have that shape that's a little fuller, because you get all 3 notes there. So that's a good one. Okay, and then last bar, either this G shape or this G, and the D chord. So that's the easy version. So let's take a look at the not so easy version, I guess. It starts off basically the same, right? G with this slide. this sound is just super bluegrassy to me. Well, bluegrassy in particular. Right, so slides all the time. Now we have this little chromatic triplet. Right, a couple things in here. We're getting the 7th of the chord, right? That F note, that's going to give us the 7th sounds, really kind of bluegrassy. So I'm going to try to add a lot of this note in, and I'm also going to try to add a lot of this B flat in. Right, because those are our super bluesy sounds. So anyways, I just do a chromatic rundown to start us back in this next bar. Here's the 3rd bar. Then we're just playing up the chord. Hammer on here, D. So that's just a little arpeggio pull off that felt right. Now here with this F sharp, instead of getting it just the F sharp, we're going to hammer on from our middle finger. So our middle finger will come up here, which actually you notice when I did that pull off, it kind of prepares me for this. As I'm just going to hammer on from 2 to 3, middle to pinky. Now I try not to get the high string here because it's not part of the chord. It's not such a bad sound, but I'll just get those kind of 3 notes when I strum that. Where the heck am I? And then I have, again, that 3-4. This time I'm kind of picking G, and then this is a very bluegrass trick. It's very banjo. Is we play a note and then we play the same note on another string. So I'm playing G and then I'm sliding to G on this string from 3 to 5, and then again that open string. These are called alternate fingerings. And they're very banjo, very bluegrass. So anyways, then we have this F again, G7. Now on the C, instead of hammering on from open, because that's in the key, we're going to get this flat 3rd to make it, again, bluesy sounds. Double stop, meaning I hit 2 notes. G. Now a little bit of a C run up. Here we again have this little triplet line. Now triplets work well in 3/4, kind of bluesier 3/4s, because in blues tunes you kind of have this swing sort of sound, and so what we're kind of doing with the triplet is we're emulating kind of we can get faster notes in a swing that's not. So triplets are often a really good option, especially when you're doing slower tunes, to go faster but not so fast. Anyway, so this line starts with the dominant, the flat 7 of the C, getting that bluegrassy sound. Flat 3rd. And what I'm really trying to do is I'm running down from this flat 7 to get that flat 7 sound, and I'm really trying to encircle this D, because that's the note I'm coming to, right? So you see this. Right, I'll do it on one string, because we have E, E flat, C, D, right? So the note we're going to is D, and we're just going. And this C I actually bend up a little bit to kind of get us close to that. So. And here I just do a hammer on to shake things up a little bit. D again. Now here this flat 7 is part of the melody, so it's important for us to get it here. But I do a very similar line here, just, I guess because I'm lazy. Right, and there again, I'm kind of circling that G again. The G is the note I want in the next bar, right? Because the melody itself, what did I have originally? Right, I'm wanting that G, so I'm just kind of circling around that G and trying to get to it by the first beat. If I had an extra beat, I could go, just like circling around and then getting to that beat when I want it. G, again, sliding to the G. Now we do this little 3rd line. So instead of going G, A, B, is we're going to add this little 3rds. So we go G and B, double stop, A and C, chromatically up to this. And you can see this is part of that G chord, the F shape that we were doing earlier. So now we have it here, and I'm just going to add a little pull off here with that 9, just because, I don't know, that's what I felt like doing at the moment. So let me play this line one more time. Yeah, a little sloppy, but That's it there. Now again, same thing. I'm just trying to get this, the last little bit. Ba da do da da do da do. Basically, we're just going from a G to another G, and we got to do it in, I guess, 2 bars, right? You could even just go. Where's another G? Here's a G. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Very surf rock. Anyways, this is what I chose to do. So G. It's boring to hit this open G. So anytime I'm thinking of an open string and I want to make it more bluegrassy, I'm going to slide into it on the other string. So notice, like, sevens, flat sevens, the sharp 9, the flat third that you're getting there. Like, I'm just trying to really get those notes in there. And chromatics, like connecting notes 1 fret at a time. That's where you're going to get this sound. So this last bar. Oh, sorry again. Anyways, that's it for that. I hope this was helpful and fun. I found it kind of fun coming up with this. So let me play through the kind of tough part one more time. I'll play it relatively slow, just so you can kind of watch it one more time or play along. But here it is. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. All right, good luck. I hope you enjoyed this. Till next time. Bye.